Hey folks, welcome to the amazing interview that we're going to be doing today with Julia. Julia, thank you so much for jumping on here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's get people to know who you are and what you do first. Just give them a little bit of a rundown of like your business, who you help, and all that kind of stuff. Just a quick cliff notes.
Sure. So, my name is Julia. I have a business as a nutritionist. So I help women who lost their menstrual cycle because of over-exercising or under-eating or because of stress. And I help them get them back with the right nutrition and lifestyle choices.
I love that. I love that. Such important work. I mean, Terry and I are in kind of like the performance world. So we see a lot of people in the overtraining world and like, starting to eat more and all the different things that come with that. Is just, it changes people's lives. So love that. I want you to take everyone a couple months back. I think we connected, I think it was in February, if I'm correct. Tell people a little bit about where business was in February and what you were working on at that point before we started to work together.
So I recently started when it was February. I just started, I was trying to grow my Instagram a little bit, but I think I had like 100 followers. Like it was very new. I had done some workshops as well, which I promoted them, with meta ads on Facebook, and like 3 people would show up, so it was very small. So I didn't have any clients and it was more like a hobby. And I didn't really believe it would grow like more than a hobby at that point.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what? I feel like I hear that so often. Like there's a lot of people that they basically, until they're making good money, they honestly don't even believe it could happen for them. Which is like there's so much proof that many people are doing it, but like for some reason you need to like see it yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, amazing. So we obviously got connected. I love to always ask the question of like, there's a lot of business mentors out there, frankly. What made you decide that, hey, I'm going to work with CCI. I'm going to join the program because, I mean, frankly, it's not cheap to work with us. And so what was it that caused you to think like, you know what, I am going to do it. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to be confident that I'm going to help basically figure this out. What was it that allowed you to do that for yourself?
So I knew I needed some coaching, but I had no idea where to start because I was kind of trying to figure out where it would make sense to spend my time, like what to do to grow. And I felt a little bit stuck. Like I would post something on Instagram, not get any likes, maybe lose 2 followers. And I wasn't happy. So I knew I probably need to invest in that, but I had no idea where because it was very overwhelming, right? There are so many like business coaches out there. I was with a business coach as well, but they mainly helped with creating systems, not really with getting clients. Yeah. So then actually I got a DM from you, Ruben, and I really thought like, oh, this is such a smart process. I got on a call with you and realized that this is exactly what you teach as well. Yeah. And I was actually making notes during the sales call. I was like, this is such a good sales call.
Yeah, you're a great student. You're just like, okay, I'm taking notes. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, oh, I can actually, like, I've already learned from the process of how you got me as a client. Like, it makes sense that you can definitely teach me something.
I love that.
Yeah, so I think that was the thing for me that really made me decide to join CCI.
I love that. That's great. Now, I do want to talk about some of the results you got in CCI. But I really like, I want this interview to also like, I want it to be inspiring and like results in what you can do with your business, but I also want it to be educational and to like help people understand right now here in 2026 at the end of July, what's working well on Instagram right now, because you've been able to get some really great results. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to kind of figure out like, what are maybe the 2 or 3 most important things that you learned, whether it's a strategy or a tactic or whatever you learned, that you believe contributed to you seeing pretty fast growth in your business. So yeah, what would be, let's just start with 1, but we can go through a couple things that you feel like were instrumental with that.
Mm-hmm. So I was hearing a lot of stories of people saying that you shouldn't educate too much on Instagram because then no one is going to buy from you. And I kind of had that belief as well. But then, of course, in CCI, you were teaching that actually it's really important to give value, right? That's why we have value pieces and like it's important actually. So I started doing that a lot more in my content. And then on sales calls, when I would ask prospects why they got on a call with me and why they wanted to do that, they always said that they learned something from my content. Like
Right.
they found that I had like a deeper understanding or something like that because I was educating in the content.
Yeah, I love that. So educating and providing value. And that's, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of coaches and practitioners and nutritionists on social media. The people who are going to get the most followers are the most valuable accounts, right? There's a lot of accounts that just have no value. And we as humans, we're attracted to value, and value is based off of what we perceive to be valuable. And so you did a great job with providing value. Now, I know a lot of people who come to CCI are curious about like our mini ads and getting new followers with the mini ads. Would you say that that's been one of the biggest pieces as well with getting these clients?
Yeah, like there were definitely a lot of followers coming from the mini ads. Like
Yeah.
most followers came from that. So that's been very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was already doing a little bit of that too before joining CCI.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I was like boosting the right posts. So
Yeah.
that really helped. Yeah.
And you know, that's so funny that you said that. I was just literally, I have written down here, I'm creating some content next week. And one of the common things I see is people going and trying to boost posts on their own. And it's very hit or miss if it works. And it's funny how just having a simple framework of like, this is how it should be set up can take it from like very hit and miss to like fairly consistent leads and clients coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You have an estimate of how many followers you've gotten from the mini ad in the last couple months since having it running?
A few thousand. I don't know exactly because it's come from different places, right?
Organic.
Like very consistently 50 a day. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I love that. That's a great number. And I mean, I was chatting with some people in person yesterday talking about how once you get these new followers as well, you're going to get your organic content is going to actually show up better as well, right? Because with your organic content, if all of a sudden you have more people seeing it and then they enjoy the content and they're interacting with it, it actually kind of compounds upon itself. So you have the mini ad and the organic, and they very much work hand in hand together. Okay, I interrupted you. So what would you say are maybe some of the other pieces that really changed the game for you when it started to like getting results and getting more clients?
I think also how to, like, are we still talking about Instagram here or more like general?
I mean, it's more general, like, yeah, either one, whichever you found most helpful.
So I think what really helped was also knowing what to say in the DMs. Because yeah, I was already talking with people in the DMs, but it was never really going to like booking a call, for example.
Yeah.
So knowing what the DM flows should look like, that already helps a lot. And then yeah, was just messaging all the new followers and also putting things in stories like where they could vote and then reaching out to the people that voted.
Yeah.
Like, I think that really helped to get the conversation going and then realizing that I'm a real person and I talk with them and genuinely want to help them already. So
you know what? This is so fascinating, Julia. I feel like I'm having a light bulb moment here, because before working with us, you were already having conversations, you were already posting content, and you were even trying to boost different posts, right? So when you joined our program and we just taught you how to take those conversations you're already having and how to book more calls with them, we take the content you're already posting, but now we can post better content that goes viral, gets you followers, and educates people so that they believe that there's value here. And instead of just boosting random stuff, we have a very specific strategy. In a lot of ways, you were along the right path, but you just needed a strategy on how to do them effectively, which is very interesting, which it goes to show that you're an action taker, right? You're just someone that goes and takes action. But that was just it was an interesting light bulb moment. Like, you were doing the things, but just we needed to do them in a certain way. I hadn't thought about that before. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think I just needed to see a little bit that perspective. Like, I already had a lot of different information and I didn't really know what needed most attention or how to do certain things. So it really helped to kind of create a path forward to know what to do.
100%. I love that. Okay, so those are a couple of things that you found really useful. How to actually have these conversations that turn into sales calls, the content, the mini ads, the educational stuff. Now, let's talk a little bit about some results, because results are always really fun. I think, how quickly did you get your first couple clients when you joined CCI?
Within 2 weeks, actually. Yeah.
In 2 weeks. I love that. What do you feel like allowed you to get those clients so quickly in the program?
Probably a combination of things. So because now new followers were coming in, and I was booking calls very consistently after that. And then I mean, I had sales calls before. I just didn't really know how to do them. I knew a little bit, but I didn't have a script or anything. So actually knowing exactly what to say and how to say it, that really, I think that actually closed the sales. So yeah, that definitely helped for me to have a little bit of a script.
Yeah, 100%. And this, I don't know why my mind is so locked in on this. It just sounds like a lot of the things you're doing, and it was just, we need to do them better and do them in a specific way. And that's what unlocked it for you. Because we have a lot of coaches in my DMs who are like, oh, I've tried that, or I've tried that, or I've tried that. And it's like, okay, but have you tried it in this specific way? Or have you tried it and like gotten better at this? Because there's, I mean, like even with running, there is like, I could go out and run on my own, but if I'm not doing it in the right way, the right kind of zones with the right heart rate and around amount per week and how I progress with it, if I don't do the running the right way, I'm probably not going to see progress and I might get injured. And I might be tempted to say, oh, I've tried running, it didn't work for me. Or I tried DMs, it didn't work for me. But it's actually doing it in the right way. So anyways, my mind's very much locked in on that right now. It's a light bulb moment for me too. So you got clients pretty quickly in the program. Now, obviously, this month of July has been your biggest month ever. So talk to, I guess, the people here and watching the replay a little bit about some of the results you've seen here in July. And I know you used a little bit of, I think, a waitlist strategy to have a really good July here. So maybe talk a little bit about that as well.
Yes, I was traveling, and during that time, it was harder to actually take on new clients. So I made a wait list, and then, so I would still do the sales call, and then on the sales call explain that there's currently a wait list and just ask for a deposit. So they already had a little bit of a commitment there. And then once the July month started, we had already the onboarding scheduled and they became a client. And then suddenly like a lot of people just started coming in, and I think the sales calls have improved. So I was able to close some more clients as well. So it's been very consistent this month. Yeah.
So what did you end up? Was it like 6 or 7 clients?
So far in July, or
in July?
I think it's 8.
8 clients? Okay, wow. This is why maybe you need to raise your prices.
I might need to do that.
You need to do that. That's awesome. 8 new clients this month. Now, I guess, I mean, and by the way, folks, if there's anyone watching here live or on the live stream, you can ask your questions down below in the chat if you have questions about this. So obviously, I mean, and I like to make the pathway really clear here. Some coaches like hide their systems and they're like, we're not going to tell you what we're going to teach you, but we're very clear here, right? Like, it's like great content, great DM strategy, really good sales strategy, the mini ad to get the followers in. Besides that, Julia, is there anything else you feel like would be helpful for people to know about, like, why you've seen such growth, like from your perspective? Obviously, you're a hard worker, you're smart, so like those are things that like you're doing, but anything else you feel like would be helpful for people to know?
I just feel like there is a lot of parts to the process that you get support from CCI with. So it's not quite sure how to answer that question. So I guess like if you're struggling with a little bit of everything, like it's really good if you want very clear Instagram strategies, like that was very helpful. And of course with having those group calls, I feel like you're never focusing just on one thing. Like every day there is something to work on. So I always feel like there's a lot of things to do and there's a lot of ideas, and it's really helpful to actually be able to have a consultant that you can brainstorm that with. And so I found that very helpful so far.
I love that. Very cool. Okay, so what's next for you? What's the next couple of months? I know you've been chatting with Cam, your consultant, a little bit about like the plan for the next couple of months. What's the goal over the next couple of months that you're going after now?
So I'm hoping to just keep getting clients consistently, and then also try to do things on a little bit bigger scale. I know it's still early, but it would be great to have a more hybrid program where I can take on more clients and do some more group-based coaching as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe hire a VA who can help with DMs and, you know, some booking calls and things like that to take off some of the time as well. So
That's perfect.
yeah, it's helpful to have a little bit of perspective. I don't think I would have imagined this back in February or March.
Well, I remember because you at the beginning of this interview, you said like you weren't even sure if this is something that you were going to be able to do.
Yeah.
How does it feel looking back at that kind of thought process in February now that you're here? Does it feel like a little bit like, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but does it feel like a little bit crazy that you're here already?
Yeah, I just remember thinking, and I even said that when I joined, I was like, oh, if I can just like, you know, make a living of this. I was saying, oh, if I can get like $3,000 months, I'm already happy. Like that's all I wanted because I was having zero, right? So, yeah, and I didn't think it would happen that quickly.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and I have to put a lot of like, I need to congratulate you because you're a hard worker and you work fast, right? Like mentorship is always a two-way street. Like we could like even if we were giving the best strategies, but someone's not putting the work in or implementing it, it's not going to work. And it's such a testament that you did get great results is that you put the work in. And so I just want to say that we're really proud of you for that because it takes hard work, right? It's not easy to build a business, but with the right strategies, it is doable and it can be totally worth it.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I love that. And I love your next steps. Like, and I always like to say, we usually can get people to like 10K months with like their first high ticket offer, right? That's great. But you're right, to get to that next level, having your basically delivery leverage where you spend a little bit less time on your clients per month and you maybe charge a little bit more for your services, and then you get a little bit of help with the DMs, right? Those three pieces, like price and leveraging your delivery and then getting someone to help with the DMs, usually that's where our clients get to their first $20,000, $25,000 a month. And so I'm excited. Maybe in another 4 to 6 months from now, we'll be doing another interview. And Julia's like, yeah, I did those things. I'm now at 25K months. So that would be really exciting. And yeah, just already proud of you for all the work that you've been putting in.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Anything else that you want to tell people, Julia, before we hop off for the day? I just appreciate your time so much. Any last words for any of the coaches listening to this here? Or I know a lot of people watch this as like a replay.
I guess just that if they're considering to join, just to look at how the DM flow was done on them and the sales call was done on them, because I think that's the main thing that convinced me, because it's you can learn from that already. Like, yeah, I thought that was powerful.
I love that. And I love that you did that. Like, that's how I always think about things. Like when I buy from someone, I'm like, oh, interesting. I wonder why they did it that way. So that's great. That's great. I love that. Well, thanks folks for jumping on. It was great seeing a couple of you jump on the live here. If you got any questions, send me a message later on. Julia, thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. And I cannot wait to see where you go over the next, 6 months for one thing, but in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to help so many women. And I'm really, really proud of you for that. So thanks for jumping on.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Awesome. Okay, bye for now, folks. Have a great rest of your day.